welcome. Let's get started. I am checking my charts, doing my thing. Going to see what fucking you checking my charts, doing my thing. Going to see if I can make it rain. Let me see. I don't know if that got on there. It might be good if it did. All right. Oh goodness. Let's start standing up. All right. Ah. Got a standing desk because I was tired of sitting down all the time. Then I started waking up with cramps in my legs because I was standing up all day. And I'm on this hard cement floor, so I need to find something to stand on. All right, let's get started. That's ChatGPT. That's my actual trading account. I don't need to do that. I need to do this. And we're going to I'll start with my 10-minute deal and see that it is all down. But it really don't matter. I shouldn't start with that because it's only Thursday and none of these have had the time to get, um, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm not getting rid of any of them. I'm not getting rid of any of these until Monday. Well, that's not true. There's 3 of them that I do have where I can get rid of, but they all are some portion away. And it's not too far. It's probably that could sell today. That's 59 to 66, and we can check that out by going up here, check the indicator, and do the average true range for the day on this particular. It moves about 20 cents a day. Look, where there it is, 0.2. No, that's not the number. Is there not a number that they just give? I thought they just gave you a number. But if you hit the thing, it's about 20 cents a day that it moves within the course of a day. So it should be able to, and of course it could go down instead of up, but hopefully it will go up. What is this? Is that the price? Oh, it's at 10.06. I bought it at 10.59. I'm selling at 10.66. It's actually down here, so it will not be going today. It's still got 60 cents when it only moves about 20 cents a day. So that's what that will tell me. Okay. And then that's at BBVA. And then there's CIO. It has a daily average true range of about 21 cents from 75 to 90. So possibly that could make the move today, and that would represent 90 cents in profit on the actual share. But then I also received, or would have, in a real world scenario, would have received 10 cents per 18 share, so $1.80 plus when that sells for 90, that's 270. On that particular where can I see where that will tell me? go to my positions. Yeah. And go to this, that CIO, right? So that particular, the market value of that trade is $103 because I think that's how much it was when I actually got it. Because when I got it at 575, no, when I got it at 590, I got 18 shares. So that's 50, 40, that's $90. 590. See, I'm trying to figure out this stuff as I go along here. So 590 is how much I paid times 18 is 106. I don't know where I came up with 95 is 50. 90, and then the whole 90 cents has to go through it. That's what I didn't do. Okay. So there it is, $106.20. So I bought it at this price, got this many for this much, $106. Right now it's worth 103. I'm gonna wait till it's back up to being worth with that what did I say it was? 80 cents? 90 cents? It'll be worth $107.10 when I sell it. So I will have made 90 cents because I won't sell it until that point. So until then, until it goes back up to that point, I will hold on to it, or I will hold on to it. I don't even have a stop loss set, and collect dividends. I mean, they do dividends every quarter, so I'll just get $1.80, until now. I'm trying to remember. This was the first round, so some of those first rounds I did not. I think I did some. Okay, I didn't make sure that they were all increasing dividends, but I did make sure that these had so they had decreasing dividends. So this would not make my list now. I didn't have access to my list, or I didn't know how to use it, or whatever however you want to say it. I did the first week. I didn't use the list. I just bought the ones that had dividends within the week, and let it see what it do. Now I'm looking at it with the list, and I'm gonna show. Let's take a look at how that even works, right? So that list that I've got is a Charles Schwab thing. So I'm gonna first I gotta unlock the trading account. Starting to get Christmas in my head. All right, let's move this over here so you can see what I'm working with. So this is what I was basically my list, like on this one. This is Think or Swim. You can set it up. It took me I needed help to get set up, so I can't tell you how I did it. So, but it lets me know today's the 17th. Lets me know that and I was looking at this yesterday, which you didn't see, but the full so this company, H.B. Fuller, check this out. H.B. Fuller pays a 22-cent dividend, and it lets me know that The X date is today, and then they'll pay out at the end of the month. So that means having owned, if one owns this stock on that day, and this is kind of cool here because it takes you back. I did more than 30 days. Kind of want to go back. What he does, my mentor, shall we say, what he does is he goes back 30 days and just looks at the where it's at to decide whether or not to buy it, right? Like if it's at the height, then he wouldn't buy it, and that makes sense because you get stuck like I'm stuck in some of these different shares, right? Like the whole issue over here is that I bought it not at a bad price. I mean, I'm not that particular one. It just is what it is. Um, but I was thinking there was one where I looked at it and was like, yeah, this one, yeah, this one, right? So this loan was a good deal, right? It paid out. This was that first week, and I just kind of grabbed it. My goal was only to have it worth 10 cents. That was a week. That was a trash goal. I should make that much more. Should have made sure that there were consistent increases. This has had increases. One dip in 2019, but if there's a lot of companies out there that have just straight up, then oh, yeah, do that some more. You need to, if they're out there and they do have uh, that kind of consistent growth, you want to take advantage of that, and just wait on that one because here's the thought. Okay, there's a sea of these stocks out there. The list has 150. Here's one of those, and I don't even know if this particular one is on the list, but let's just say it's on the list. Here's one of those that has this payout of 115 or 11 cents, 11 and a half cents per share, which I have 19 shares. So, yeah, what's that? 19 times 11.5. That's $2 for 218 cents. Yeah, so 218. So $2.18 in dividends. Not bad, but now I'm stuck waiting, and so my while I'm waiting, my $110, $106 of market value, what I bought into it for. What's the trade value? That's when it reaches my take profit. Is that correct? That's at 584 times the 19 is 110. We have 96. Where are you at? That would be my take profit. That's not what that shows me. That trade value is if you traded it right this second. If you closed it out right now at 561 times the 19 shares, it would be $106.59. That's the market value right now. Wait a second. Because the current price is 561. That's where it closed. For 19 shares. So the current market value is 106.59. Right. I bought it. I'm slow. The trade value is what I paid for. Right? Because I paid 582 times 19 is 110.58. Okay. Okay. Trade value, what I paid for it. Trade value, what I paid for it. Market value, what it's worth right now, and what that is up or down. This is $3.99 less. This actual value is $3.99 less than what I paid for it. So I'm down $4 right now, less the 19 or $2.18. So I could adjust my stop loss down, or I could take a sale. I could take a loss on the stock up to 218 and still be even. Now I'm trying to get 1%. If I aim for 1%, boom, 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 on 100 deals, or not 100 deals, on 10 deals, and 1%, because I'll scale this down to like 2 or 3 or whatever and just pick the best or whatever. But right now, bumper cars. But if I've got 10 running 10 different stocks, because there's always the possibility that you have something like this where you actually make money on the sale, right? Like this particular one closed out at $10.45 over. So if you're aiming at that 1%, you're going, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Sometimes you'll get low. You'll never lose. Because at this point, I can just wait for it to come back here. And if it doesn't come back here, like in this case, it's not the highest ever. But if it were like the highest ever, and now it had dropped, the reason it's at its highest ever is because it's doing something. And unless you're just unfortunate to have, and this is why you wouldn't buy it at its high, but even in this scenario where I just kind of blindly stumbled into it, I would always have the dividend. And then, like I said, whatever caused it to jump, you've got the order just sitting there. If it ever jumps to there again, you get out. And you can constantly calculate what the dividend is doing for you against your get out price. Because what I was just thinking about was, okay, if you take the price you pay for the stock, and then, yeah, I stopped doing that. That's what happened. I threw a paper today and hurt my back because my arm ain't strong like it needs to be. And I was like, I'll just fling it like that. And I actually felt it down in my back, not in my shoulder. So if you take the say you buy it for $1 or $10, and you get $1 dividend, but the stock went down $1, you're even. So you hold it till it goes back up to $10, and you've made $1. That's 10%, not 1%. But you see what I'm saying? You sell it for 10, you get that $1 dividend. It takes a nosedive to 8. You've got to wait till it gets back to 9, at least, to get your $1 to just let that dub it in, give you a push. And if over the course of time you've got, because what you'd have to do, you're removing time from the equation. It's just the dollars, which, interestingly enough, so then both of these strategies kind of, in a way, play the banker role or relay the, like, well, they're safe. That's it. It's be safe and then just wait for the profit. That's what one of my professors says is, just wait around for the money and wait around to see the money laying there and then I'll pick it up. And that's kind of what both of these situations are. That's what this strategy is too. This is totally unrelated to the school, but as we were talking about in one of my classes yesterday, it came up because somebody asked a question about this strategy and that strategy, and one of our teachers uses a 9, and the other teacher uses an 8, and so it's like there was a new student going, "What's going on?" Right? Because I've done that too. It's like, guys, I've got like an 8, a 9, a 21, a 40, and a 200. But then yesterday, when he was answering the question, he said, "Well, I use the 8, the 21, which he's always done, and the 200." But then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, he throws in the 50. And I don't remember him ever mentioning the 50. That does not mean he did not mention the 50. He talks for 3 hours. And I got the first time about every 10 minutes I understood something he said, or 15 minutes even, man. It was like, what? And then as I've gone through it and I go through it and I go through it, I'm understanding what he's saying more and more and more. So, and going, oh, and catching things that I missed. So he very well could have said the 20, because I didn't think he explained the EMA things at all. That's the lines I was talking about, the 8 and the 21 that he uses. I didn't think that he had explained them at all, and that he was just talking about them in his what you call it, in his labs. And so I went back through the course, and sure enough, it was there. But I just said, by the time he said it, I just was like, my mind was just like, okay, I'll get that later. I don't know, man, I'll get it later, because that's what you got to do at some point. Just go, okay, I'm gonna keep putting this in, and I'll just let me shake it down, let it digest, move down, give me some space. Now I can cram some more in there, because that's what's going on. I mean, I'm 59. I'll be 59. That's crazy. I'll be 59 years old, and I'm trying to learn something new. But it's cool because I'm on a mission. Because if you can learn, you can teach, and if you can teach, can give some opportunities to some people. And if they have opportunities, maybe we can quit calling it Killer City. Yeah. But I gotta learn this in order to get to where I can fund people who do the programs that will inspire, because it's a multifaceted thing, right? Because you gotta have finances, because just as the world that we live in. Yeah, this is the world we live in. And so it's incumbent upon us who wish to make it better to find a way to make it better. And this would be a good way to support those that do. Like, that reminds me, like, so I need to start a list, right, of things, uh, of places that can fund, right? Like, there's A Flat Music Studio, clearly, but then I heard this lady today was talking about, like, insurance companies don't fund or won't pay for everything. It's what was she talking about? When people go in and can't, when you get diagnosed with cancer, you have to start these treatments. That there's a high likelihood that it's going to end your fertility. So you need to take your eggs and freeze them and do all of this stuff, which is expensive. So that if you want to have children later, like even if you don't have them now, so that you can be prepared, or so that you can have that option. And insurance companies don't want to cover it, and it's one of them things where I can see where it's like, okay, we don't want to cover it because it costs too much. It probably costs too much because it's not automatic. Because if it was automatic, it would probably be more, which would bring the cost of sale down, right? I think, I don't know, but in any case, this lady is started a foundation because she's a survivor of three different cancers. Uh, but she was like, there's people that this just takes away one of them little worries, one of them rocks off your head. It's like, okay, I've got to fight this cancer, and if I make it, matter of fact, it will give you something to hope for, right? Because you want to fight through it. Because I got my eggs there, I can still have babies, and I can still move from here. So I want to support her, but I got to remember to find out what the name of it is, and there's no snapping or anything because I was thinking about that. I was looking for something on one of these tapes. I said, like, so I was thinking, like, back when I was in radio, you could do that, and then you could just look at the spikes on the meter and you could find what you were saying, but you can't do that now with this. I don't know how to find it other than I could probably look at the transcript and go back and look at it, which I will probably do because one of the things is, like, with the power of AI, I'm kind of leveraging that. Like, I will take my scripts here. Yeah, I will. I'll take my transcript from this live and dump it into my AI agent and continue to help write my trade plans. What I'm going to do, because I've been putting all the different parameters that I want, and right now I'm not trying to write the actual trade plan, but I've got some pretty hefty starts to it. Right. Where's my trading plan? Let me see. Can you do it like that? I don't know if you can. Let me see. Can you pull up my trade plan? What is this? This is crazy, y'all. You don't have access to your personal files. I have access to. I'd be happy to help. That means I did it somewhere else. That's all that means is I used a different thing to make it because I've been playing around with all these different deals. Yes, there it is, trading plans. So I got like, so I'll take this, I'll dump all of this in here. These are some different lectures and whatnot on it. So then this is the various aspects of trading and all of that kind of stuff. Then I'll start working on what are the key elements of your trading plan, how do they relate to your financial goals. Yeah, I got a lot of stuff in here. I mean, yeah, some stuff about Pine script. Because what I want to do, preparation. Yeah. See, and this is just, this was some of the stuff I'm kind of been looking at, and it's kind of taken and melded the information from these different documents to show me what the cumulative trading plan should be. And these are the things that I've kind of, some stock uh, stuff, which that will all change because I was just trying to find stocks that I would, because when I first started, I was thinking that stocks was a thing for me, and it's not because if you look on here, uh, up here where it says, and I don't know how clearly you can see uh, the shared screen over here. It's, oh, that's because it's a little small. I've got it. This will give you a better representation of what you can see. Yeah, you can see that clear enough. Yeah. So if you look right here, it says day trades left. You can only make 3 trades in which you. I'm not even sure what the rules are, but it's not for me. It's not for me because there's rules probably to keep you from ruining yourself and your family and ending up on the ward of the state. There's rules to keep you from trading too much. Or maybe it's to keep you out the game. I don't think it's to keep you out the game because they're giving away the game now for like free permission trades and you can trade because there's ways around this. Like I can trade penny stocks that I can afford. So I was always trying to figure that whole thing out with the pattern pattern day trade, whatever. It doesn't affect me because I'm doing futures and that's why because they don't keep you out. um, I was not doing this. Oh, I only brought this over to show you that there are 3 trades available. I don't have any money in this account on this one here, so that's why. But there would still be only three trades available because like this account is a paper trading account and has $200,000 in it, 10,000 if I wanted to buy forex. I thought it had a thing to say so many trades left too. I guess it doesn't do it for the paper trade. Oh well. But yeah, I gotta figure. I'm trying to learn a lot of different stuff because the other part of the strategy is, and I'm going to just try to explain this so that I can understand it and see how much I understand it because I've got my call with this cat in an hour and a half, and that's another repetition until you get it kind of thing. But yeah, let's look at this real quick. Um, the this is this the stock itself, whatever stock it might be, Apple. Yeah, there's Apple. Now this one does not have calendar set up the same way, but it does have some different stuff. I don't remember exactly, but yeah, it's got some stuff. But um, so it'll show you like who's got the dividends and all that stuff on that calendar. But what I'm looking at right now is this other concept that I'm going to try to explain. Those stocks that were on my list, like loan. Okay, so like loan, right? Like I said, you can look at that and see that I probably should not have bought it because it was, well, and again, I don't even know if that's exactly true because today's the 16th. So let's go back. So I mean, it's in a dip and then going back up. I mean, it's still going 3 days up. So it's not. Remember, I got it somewhere, and I don't remember the exact price on that one. Uh, 582. I'm trying to sell the 584. Now I'm going to show you the thing, but that's all good. 582 is where it is, where I bought it. So I bought it up here. Yeah, the last week. So last week when I bought it, probably shouldn't have bought it when I did, but it's not killing me because, as I said, you've got the shares, and this part is, I think, important. If you want to do this is important. Whatever's making this happen go up, it's trading its way up. Unless that's stopping, that's just kind of one of the things that stocks do over time. I mean, more people have come into the market, so there's more money in the market. Um, as well, and I'm not teaching. I'm just trying to think this stuff through because I don't know how true any of these statements are. But you can see that it has continually gone up. And again, it's one of these companies that has had dividends for some period of time. So it's not a fly by night company. It's it's reasonable to expect that, as my man says, stocks go up, they go down, they go up, they go down, and you just want to get them in the middle. You know what I mean? If you could buy it here or here, like this is stock 101 is buy low, sell high. So you shouldn't have bought at the high. That's me. I messed up that. But anyway, back to this thing. The other section of the strategy is if I buy 100 shares, so for $500, $600, I could buy 100 shares of that at 561. So I could buy 100 shares for $560. And then this thing can happen. Oh, that's not. I'm clicking on the monitor screen. Okay. Then this thing can happen. Uh, and I won't explain this properly. But you can, with those shares, you can sell someone. This is the option to buy, but not obligation, at a better price. What I'm saying is You buy it $5.61, then you can sell it. And I'm not exactly sure how to explain this at all, but like, for some reason it's not doing it. That one looks better. So for the bottom at $11, there's people who will pay you. There's two different things. There's puts and there's calls. I don't understand them. I'm not even sure what the puts do exactly, but the calls is basically I have the shares, and then someone out there will buy for a price, and these are all zeroed out, so I don't know what they even mean. But that means, or these things, like if at this price, if the price is $10.50, this is October 18th. That's tomorrow. Then you get, see, I can't explain it, but you get paid a premium, right? Which is found on this chart here. So you can look at it and say that somebody is saying that if it gets to $9.50, they, I don't know why they would pay you for that at this point. But what these dollars here, these two columns here, the bid and the ask, are for you to buy or to sell a call, and that basically you're selling someone the right to call the order from you. If I'm understanding that, if I'm saying that correctly, I'm selling you a call that gives you the option to call this stock away from me at this price, regardless of what the actual price is. So I'm not even going to look at those numbers because this is the theory or the idea behind it is that if I can tell you that I believe by looking at this that you can see how stocks go up, then they come down, then they go up, then they come down. And if you look at this particular stock over some period of time and you say, looking at this, I think that right now the stock's here, but in, let's just say, in a month on November 8th, it's going to be way up here. So you can tell somebody right now that you want to buy that stock for $12 and they'll give you 19 cents or 18 cents because I don't know which one's the buy or the sell, but it's the point. They'll give you 19 cents a share. So 100 shares, 19. So they'll give you 19 times 100. They will give you $19. Here you go. Put that in the bank. Go buy dinner and go do whatever you want to do. That $19 is yours to do whatever you want with it. They now have a call option so they can call your stock away from you for $12 and you'll have to sell it to them for $12. Now, you bought it for current price $11, we'll just say. And so you're already getting that dollar of profit when you sell it for the 12 bucks. But if it went up to $14, they gave you $19 and they're out that $19, but they get to buy that stock from you for $12 and they got to give you $12 a share. You paid 11 a share, so you made money on it. You made $100 there. Plus you made a 19 because he gave you that and you've already eaten the steak and it's gone. Then the price goes up to 14 and that person can call that stock for $12, and they'll sell it on the market for 14, and they have a $2 profit. Or they buy it for $12, even though it's gone up, and they instantly got $2 profit, and they can hold on to it forever. Always with this $2 boost at the beginning of when they even bought it. And that's the only part of the transaction that you care about, is that you have the shares. You can sell someone that option to buy them, and they'll give you the money for it, the $19. Now, here's the kicker, and this is the part I don't quite understand, but so that's on that day. So on the 15th, they can do that. I don't think they can do it until then. I don't think they can go like, hey, it's 14. I want to buy it right now. Or maybe they can. I don't know. Because there's something that he does called rolling it over on Friday, because if I'm not mistaken, these are all Friday dates and are the days that these options are due. So I think that means that that's when the person will exercise that. But you can go in beforehand, and there's some methodology where you can buy that back. So it costs you got $19 for it, 19 cents a share. And I don't know, there's some method where you can pay $3, 3 cents a share, to buy that option back from him. I don't know if that's how that works, because that doesn't make sense to me. Because, like, why would you sell it back? I mean, if I bought it from you saying that it's $12, well, and that's part of it, is it I chose something that was like wildly profitable. But if it's not super profitable, because there's some windows for that person who bought it, because they've got to make the stock has to go up. They paid you 19 cents per share. So it's got to go up at least that much before they could even think of making some money on the deal. So if it hasn't gone up that much, I think that's where you can buy it back from them. Say, listen, I'll give you part of their money back, which releases them, and then you can resell that option again for, now we'll just roll it out instead of, I don't know how the heck, I don't see the 19 cents anymore. Because I was looking at it and I said 19 cents, didn't I? Did I change stocks? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. I don't understand the mechanics. I'm learning it. Because if I can teach people to do these things, and we can fund each other, be our own banks, be our own Wall Street. Not like, I mean, in a sense, because this is shares publicly traded. But what I envision is being able to fund, like, to have a space where people can come in, they can learn this stuff. And not everybody is going to do this, or have a knack for it, or have the patience for it, or have the makeup for it, or whatever. And maybe they would prefer to do something else in their life. But like I said, the hope is gone, because say you want to do something and you just don't fit in with the corporate culture of whatever, because the fact of it is, like, I don't know how easy it would be for a high school. Like, my son was able to get into a high school program, learn heating and cooling, and now has a good job with a reputable company doing installations or checkups or whatever. He works for a company doing heating and cooling. I am in a different neighborhood than I grew up in, and I'm concerned that they don't have those kind of programs, the access to the means of those, or the ideas, or the different stuff for that, and to be able to give them that access, to be able to kind of work to provide that in a way, right? Like, there's a transportation issue because where my son took his classes was way the heck out, and you know, there's, you know, I'm sure there's other programs that are around, and that's one of the things I gotta realize, that I'm like nobody's doing nothing. It's not nobody's doing nothing, but it's I want to do something. That's ultimately it. And what was this one here? Oh, this was based on simulations. If you do 1,000 trades, then you can have an accuracy rate 2 to 1. What you could grow an account to look like, but that doesn't say what you began with. That's a $13 million. That's not even million. That's 13 billion. I think ChatGPT is thinks very highly of me. That's a case of garbage in, garbage out, because I clearly did not give it the right numbers somewhere along the way. Although I heard yesterday about somebody who took 100 and made it into a million. So it's possible. 13 billion is a lot. Have to get deep into Elon's stash for that one. Maybe a little nick off of Jeff Bezos and cozy up to Warren Buffett to get 13 billion. I don't think you can get that without getting in their pocket somewhere. You know what I mean? I mean, I don't know. I wonder if you can get that kind of money without at a point, like, you can't get this much without pulling from the other whales at the table, because you can't single-handedly take all the little players out. They take your little players out too. It ain't enough little players to get you your 13 billion. You can take all my little $500 account in one swoop. And that's the thing about the market, is I believe there is some truth to what I just said. You can't accumulate this without pulling it from the market being all of us, other people at the table. And I just don't know that you can accumulate this without pulling it from some of those cats, catching some of their losses. being on the other side of some of their trades or deals. Yeah, I don't even know what I'm thinking about right now. Kind of thinking philosophically about, is the table big enough, or do you just keep adding to the table? Especially when they complain about printing of money and the increase in money supply, because if that's a problem, then that means you don't want it. I mean, that seems like what I'm saying is true. You can't get it if you don't get it from them. Like, we got to get it from them to get it, which then puts me back on a policy or mindset of like, yes, you can be a billionaire, but I don't know that you get a die one, and I don't know that you get it like I'm down with at this point. I mean, I'm down with making a bunch of money and paying taxes for it. That seems reasonable to me. Well, it is about class time. Uh, Actually, as I think about it, there may not be a class. As I think about it, where is the class? This YouTube, just there. Huh. That's this one. Let's see. Let's see. There you are. There you are. And yeah, there are no class today. So I am not racing out of here after all. What I am doing is I'm going to take a break to get, yeah, to say goodbye to my wife. But yeah, let me see. I'll test the capabilities of this thing. Oh, what's going on? Oh, I didn't get it all. It's not. Why is it not moving? It's a day late and a dollar show to roll. Index. Yesterday. And had, do they not have it yet? That's a bummer. They don't have it yet. That was a really good deal, but that's all right. I'm going to, because all right. Let's see. Strategy is important.
minute, Mr. Beach. I'm providing Mr. Beach a copy of Discovery today. He wants to review them before next step.
Or Judge Reed, you had any control